Welcome to Birth Your Vision podcast, where aspiring entrepreneurs are invited to join us on a journey of inspiration. I'm your host, Hannah Kukuli, and we are thrilled to embark on this empowering journey with you. We provide coaching sessions and engage in hot seats experiences, empowering individuals to gain clarity in bringing their business visions to life. As an additional layer of support, we extend personalized one-to-one roadmap sessions, ensuring each entrepreneur receives tailored guidance on their unique path to success, and also live interviews, tailored guidance from successful businesswomen and men to inspire aspiring entrepreneurs to birth their vision. So join us on this insightful conversations and hands-on support to turn your entrepreneurial journey and dreams to reality. Welcome everyone to another amazing episode of Birth Your Vision podcast. It's a real pleasure to be here today, and I am so excited. And so in today's podcast episode, the Birth Your Vision, we have the privilege of hosting two remarkable women who are not only inspirational, but they are inspiring entrepreneurs and also incredible in terms of the support system that they have for each other. And so first up, we have Kaela Gedda, who is actually an Ontological Life Coach. And she's the founder of Rise Leadership Circle. She is actually on a mission to help heart-centered leaders to live life and to be able to say yes to life. And she's doing it with the best partner in the world by her side. And guess who that is? Her mom, Lisa. And so together they are redefining what it means to actually run a business as a dynamic mother and daughter duo. And so today she's going to be joining me live on stage, and she's going to be telling us about how she was able to build the Rise Leadership Circle and how, the partnership between her and my other guest, who is going to be joining me very soon as well, how they've been able to be an instrumental partnership to each other. And so my second guest is also an amazing woman, Kaela Gedda, a mother of two. She's an author, she's a model, and also disability advocate. She's also known as the Metal Barbie. Yes, we're going to find out what that is all about. She's going to be telling us all that stuff very soon. And so her journey is one of the resilience and also empowerment, and also having become a quadruple amputee overnight due to sepsis. So despite the challenges that she has faced, Kaela turned her experience into a mission to support other people who are actually facing similar trauma through a foundation. And she's here today to share the story with us, the Metal Barbie Foundation. And she's going to be making an amazing difference in the life of so many people who have actually lost their limb. And so together, both of my guests, they are such incredible women. I want you to write your questions because there's going to be opportunity to ask them questions. And they're both amazing together. And so without further ado, I want you to just put your hands together as I bring both of them on. So the first person I'm going to be bringing on is the wonderful Kaela Gedda. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Hannah. So good to be here.
Thank you so much. It's amazing to have you here. What an amazing experience and journey you've been on. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful Birth Your Vision podcast. It's an honor to have you here. So I'm just going to introduce our next guest, who is the wonderful Kaela Gedda. Welcome to the stage. Hi.
How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us, both of you. It's amazing to have you. And I just want to say how amazing it is, the opportunity to be able to partner, to collaborate. And this is what is all about, collaboration, and we are focusing today on your partnership, the partnership and the purpose of your journey. So I'm just going to start with you first, Kaela. I want you to basically tell us about your journey in giving birth to your business, the Rise Leadership Circle.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. So I have a really fun business conception story where I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I will say that basically my mom and I, who's my business partner, we had the same divine download at the same time. And when we
Wow.
called each other to tell each other, uh, we realized that this was given to us for a purpose.
Mm,
And our intention is really to work with our clients who are heart-centered leaders and take what they really want to have, the experience, the dreams, and bring them to life. And so that's what we set out to do. We set out to build a community, and we kind of shot really fast from go and build a, like we hit the ground running and just never stopped, never slowed down. And so now we get to support people like Kia who have incredible dreams that must be in the world, and support them to have that self-belief so that they can really take that action.
wow, that's just incredible. I love that. It's amazing how you and your mom had very similar idea and you were able to give it life by giving it an opportunity to become a reality. And you are helping so many women to build confidence and to say yes to life. And I think that's so important. Thank you so much for taking us through that journey in brief. And over to you, Kia. Let's know about you and exactly your journey to birthing this amazing foundation.
Oh, well, my journey, it seemed like it happened overnight, actually, but I've been birthing this particular foundation for about 5 years now. And I say I met Kayla about like half a year ago,
Mm,
and we literally like locked in when I met her. It was like she knew and I knew that we were aligned at some point to, actually push forward what she saw in me and what I felt in myself. So I say about maybe late November, I finally reached out to her and was like, Kayla, I'm ready. And, she had been reached out to me, and
mm.
she was pretty consistent with it. Like, Kia, like, I know I'm going to get her one day is what I picked from her, but she was consistent with it. And I watched her, she's always got a great story that she picks out of her actual living life, and she relates it to so many things, and I don't think
Mm,
she really knows that she does that, but she does. And she caught my attention one day. She made a post on Facebook, just speaking about how one day she was in one spot and didn't think that she would be where she is right now. And
mm,
it met my soul at the moment. It was what I had been desiring for myself, and it was just like I was afraid to say yeah. Like I was afraid to go ahead with what I knew I could do and what I wanted to do. So I reached out to her and was like, I'm ready. Like I'm
yeah.
ready. I got all these ideas and this is what I want to shoot. Shoot them at me. So once I fed her my ideas and she gave me like the extra confirmation that I already knew within myself, like go for it. So with what occurred to me, losing my limbs, in such a random occasion, is what I call it, because I had no signs of sickness, no previous warning. It was literally I woke up like everything was fine, and by the time I ended my day, I was ended in my day in a coma. So after what I went through and experienced with my children, just readapting and trying to learn how to live life as a quadruple amputee, I figured, what other way can I use my trauma to be someone else's guidebook? And
Mm,
I felt that the Metal Barbie Foundation, I can start there. One thing that children, mostly like, little girls and some little boys that idolize action figures, whether it be Barbie dolls, robots, superheroes, something of that nature. So I initially thought that and I still do, so I'm not going to say initially, but it was the first thought to have a Barbie doll that looked exactly like myself. And I said that because there are so many children that have unfortunate situations where they become amputees, or where they are born with a difference that may not align with what everyone sees on a regular. So I wanted to make us the regular,
mm,
and I feel that the Metal Barbie Foundation is the start of being able to make these toys and so forth more accessible to children that look like me. So it gives them more of a a better outlook for their future, you know. And I feel like right about now we are raising children to be our future, you know, and
Yeah.
they have to believe in themselves. So that's pretty much what the Metal Barbie Foundation is, you know, in the midst of growing into.
Wow, this is powerful. You're both just incredible. I am so inspired already. Your stories are very much motivating. And you know what? This is what we're talking about today, the power of partnership and purpose, because both of them go hand in hand, right? Partnership and purpose. When you find the right person, because it seems like here you found her, and as soon as you kind of connected to her, you was like, you know what, she is the kind of person I've been looking for. And so there is that wonderful partnership. And then you are able to also find your purpose because of the experience that you've actually gone through as well, which is really incredible. And so, that brings me to another question that I want to ask both of you. So I'll start with you first, Kia. So how has your partnership support system, especially the both of you combined together, contributed to your success as an entrepreneur or as somebody who's actually running a foundation?
Well, prior to meeting Kaela, I did have all these ideas in my head that,
Yeah,
again, I knew I could do. It was just like, sometimes it is good to have that accountability partner that's going to hold you accountable. And that's
yeah,
what I was looking for. I was more so, I'm going to do it, but I'll get to it type of thing. And
yeah.
it's like time is just going by and by. And as you can see, I have thought of this. This has been something that has been in my soul since losing my limbs. So 5 years ago, it's like it's just been cooking and it's been cooking. And I
Mm,
always said to myself, like, well, God will put it into play when it's meant to be. And I feel like with the way me and Kaela did meet, it was just all circumstances that I myself was pulling away from, but my life was pulling me towards. So once me and Kaela initially started talking and she heard my dreams and she
mm,
told me, like, let's do it, and I'm like, you for real? Like, you sure? Like, you believe in me? And she's like, well, absolutely. Like, that is absolutely amazing. I have
mm,
literally no critique in what you have. Let's do it. We just have to put the foot forward. So it would be, times where I would sit and I would still have that small doubt in the back of my head. But
mm.
again, I have my coach, Kaela, and both Lisa, my coaches, because we do. There's a family that I have within Kaela, so I'll just say it like that. I have people that I can reach out to, or I have individuals that constantly reach out to me just to make sure that I am holding myself accountable or I am on top of things. And with that alone, it just pushed me forward to the deadlines that I may have dragged on so long. It was more so like, let's do it. Let's get it
Mhm.
done. So whenever I had my meets with Kaela, it was like, hey, Kia, what you been doing? And I'm like, oh, crap, teacher's in. Like, like I got to give her something. So
Yeah.
every time I wanted to give her nothing but the best of the idea that I had. And it was like, okay, let's do it. So every time I came back to Kaela, I had it done. It was just
Mhm.
like, this is what I'm planning. And when I knew when I'm reaching back out to Kaela, I'm giving her a plan. And I just need her to look over it and make sure I'm in the right path. And each time she has done that. So when she's reaching out to me and I'm giving her what I've done, she's like, well, I be danged, like, go ahead. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, keep going. So it's really like that support of her just caring and actually like deeply caring. There's a difference from like genuinely caring and then someone just trying to get something done. She
Mm.
genuinely cares.
Yes.
So when she's walking me through things, it's like walking me through things with passion instead of
Mm.
let's just get it out the way. So I'm adapting that habit for myself and it's causing me to get things done.
I love it. Accountability is key when it comes to coaching someone or being a mentor to somebody, because some people have different types of mindset, whether they lack confidence, whether they're going through procrastination, or even imposter syndrome. So when you have that coach or you have that mentor and they're able to give you some actionable task and they are looking for you to implement it and they're holding your hand, but also doing it in love and encouraging you, it makes a difference. And it sounds like Kaela is actually an amazing coach that actually fits everything to do with positivity. And so I want to hear from you, Kaela. You've heard from your amazing clients.
Thank you so much. Well, okay, y'all. Kia makes my job so easy. And here's what I think. It's like Kia is a shooting star. You know, she is shining bright. And my job is just to fan the flame. It's just to fan the flame because we know that what can happen with a shooting star is that it can kind of fizzle out. Like circumstances happen or we get tired. And so I just keep fanning that flame so she can just keep shooting around, shining, making the impact. And so it's easy. My job is so easy because I just see the bright light that Kia and all my clients are, and just hold that intention that we keep going, we keep showing up when there's circumstances, when there whatever's happening, because the work, like the impact and the purpose that Kia is living must be in the world. It must. And so by me just locking in and knowing that it has to exist like that, all I've got to do is add a little bit of air and she just gets to keep shining.
I love it. Absolutely. And you know what? It takes a lot of skills, a lot of determination to be able to really support someone and really see their growth. And it looks like, you know, Kia has definitely grown from the time she's connected with you. You've been able to take her from A to B, and you can hear it from her testimonial today, which is truly amazing. And this speaks volume about the kind of coach you are. And it's truly amazing. And the way you're building this wonderful, circle of yours, which is truly inspiring. And so there is something special that you are currently doing on your page, which I'm very fascinated about. And it's about shining the spotlight on podcast hosts, right? And even those who are looking to be a guest. And to be quite honest, we are an example of that wonderful, initiative that you've actually been promoting from the 1st of April to the 5th. And I was actually able to ask you if I could be part of it. And you said, absolutely. So I was able to share that opportunity today. So tell us about what was the motivation for you to bring that to life?
Yeah. So right now we're running the podcast Pitch Palooza inside of our Facebook community, which is called Live Your Yes Life. And even if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, today's the last day, we're going to do it again. So definitely get in our free Facebook group, the Live Your Yes Life group. And the intention is that I'm connected with so many amazing podcast hosts like yourself, Hannah, and then people like Kia who have a story that must be heard on podcasts and all sorts of stages. And we thought, well, we have a group. Let's put these people and connect them together and just build a stage where hosts can say, this is the podcast that I have, and this is who I'm looking for. And guests can say, this is who I am and what I talk about. And then hosts can kind of scout and just make invitations. And it has been so inspiring to watch people truly share about who they are and just bring so many different people from different experiences together. And that's our mission. It's to have people be a yes to themselves and what they want to create and to be visible in that. And so I'm so honored to get to be a connector in that way.
Absolutely. You are a phenomenal connector because there's quite a lot of podcast hosts on that particular page and also guests. And so it's a win-win. Podcast host looking for a guest, everything is in there. So that's really amazing. Thank you so much for that opportunity. And I just actually see it growing and expanding. You've started something here, and I don't think you can see how big it's going to be. So well done to you. Absolutely. So let's dive into entrepreneurship. I mean, we've all experienced what it means to be an entrepreneur. Our podcast really look at ways to help aspiring entrepreneur because some of them may lack confidence and they may need some support at the early stages. And so I want to just throw this question to both of you. So what advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur who are just starting on their journey? I'll start with you first, Kaela.
That is a beautiful question. What advice would I give to an aspiring entrepreneur just starting on their journey? I would say it's important that we do two things at once. And those two things are hold a big vision of our dream and what's possible. And then the second thing we do is we just start with the very first step. So we see the big vision and we know where we're going and what's possible. We don't doubt ourselves or say, oh, I'm never going to get there. We have the whole big vision. And then we scale all the way back and get into just this first step so that we don't overwhelm ourselves, we don't get in our own way, and we just take one small step at a time towards that big vision.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. Vision is very crucial. You have to be able to visualize what is it that you want and what is it that you need to do.
And that's really what we started with Kia. We're still early in our coaching relationship, and so she came with the vision. I mean, she had the vision completely ready to go and flushed out, which made it easy. And so then we just took a step back and said, okay, here's the first piece that we need to gather information about and start looking at how we're going to move this forward from her outward. She's sharing her story in an incredible way. Hannah, let's make sure we ask Kia about her documentary that's being released soon. And now we're just turning that into, her sharing her story into a foundation so that the impact can keep growing in multiple ways.
I love it. Absolutely. And over to you as well. From, a client perspective, starting to give birth to something that you've had inside of you for so long and you finally found a coach. So how does that question relate to you, Kia?
Oh, I can say for a while, I looked at a lot of entrepreneurs and, business owners, and I'm like, I have a train, whatever, going by my house, but I thought that I'm like they complaining, and they have this dream that I'm climbing to get to, or so many people are praying that one day they can at least, put their foot in just a little bit. And it wasn't until I actually start, the labor process of birthing my dream and my purpose, it was like, I had those doubts. I had those procrastinating moments. I had those, I'm not going to do it. That's not for me anymore. My biggest go-to, I would say, is just do it. Just do it. You're going to have a million and one reasons as to why you shouldn't, but stick with that one reason as to why you should. Because at the end of it all, that one reason will overpower all the reasons that you thought as to not why. So absolutely. In Kaela's words, say yes. Say yes.
Say yes. I think my mantra is also just do it. Because by the time you start thinking about it, you'll never do it. You'll never start. So if you just take the leap and say, what's going to happen anyway? I'm just going to go ahead and just give it a go and just do what I need to do, which is very important. And, yes, I've heard you have this amazing documentary coming up, which is excellent. And so, your journey from being a, quadruple amputee overnight due to sepsis and also becoming an author, a model and disability advocate is truly incredibly inspiring. And so I would love you to kind of walk us through the challenges that you've actually had, because it's quite a lot to deal with and to manage, being a mom, being a woman who is creating and starting this wonderful foundation. How have you been able to deal with challenges? And then we'll go into your documentary shortly after that.
Well, a lot of challenges I have. I usually try not to sit in those challenges because life is going to be full of them, right? So it's like you're going to sit and wait for the next challenge to come, and it's just going to build up to where you just, you overwhelm yourself, or you're going to try to deal with it for as the best as you can, or or just sink. And I've been telling myself ever since I came out of the hospital, it's like you either are going to sink or you're going to keep swimming. And for me, I have to keep swimming. So no matter what situation comes up on me, it's like I choose to look at the greater of it all. And it could be worse. Yes, I'm an amputee. Yes, I have to learn different ways of doing things, but I use this, as an opportunity to learn and teach. I have 2 children who probably have never seen an amputee before until their mom became an amputee. So it's a teaching lesson for them, because I have to make sure that they understand everybody is different. And that doesn't mean just based off of race. I mean, everybody is different. But I want you to be able to respect the presence of someone that is different from you. make sure that you are treating them just as you would treat anyone else. Have the same respect. It's not polite to stare. Just giving them a
Mm,
different perspective versus just going out in the streets and seeing it and having all of these unknown questions and staring. It's
yeah.
a teaching moment. So I'm
Mm,
teaching my children to teach other children how to be polite or how to ask questions if they may have them. So I would say, in all, I usually take my challenges and I sit in them probably for about that moment and keep moving.
mm,
I pray. Some challenges I just can't fix, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. If I was Superwoman or could fix everything, obviously, that would be different. But it's okay. I've taught myself to know it's okay to not be able to fix everything, and it is okay to move forward.
absolutely. I love your spirit. It's very soothing, and I love that you're very transparent and very honest with yourself. There are some things that is out of our control, and we can't do nothing about it. But we can only do things with things that we know that we are in control of. And so it's very important, the rules and the morals you're teaching your children as a mother, building them up to have confidence and things like that, which is truly amazing. And I'm really happy that you're able to share that with us, because it will resonate with many of our listeners as well. And so, Kaela, I wanted to go into partnership and purpose, because both of them go hand in hand. So, how has it been like, being in partnership with your amazing clients, helping them to really bring out the best out of a business idea, or, something that they've always had in their mind to actually bring to life? So, how has that partnership and purpose kind of merged together?
It feels so fulfilling. I often feel like um, that as a coach, what I really am is, I say that I'm the mirrors for my client. If they're in their vehicle, like their purpose is their vehicle that they're taking to wherever they're going, and I'm like the side mirror and the rear view mirrors. And so to be able to hitch a ride with my
Mm,
clients, it gives
yeah.
me purpose. If I was a rear view mirror just sitting in a shop somewhere, I wouldn't be fulfilling my purpose. And so by being able to really partner with my clients and support them on their drive, on their journey, it allows me to have an incredibly fulfilling experience of life, and also get to enjoy and celebrate and highlight the
Mm,
success that they are creating, which looks in so many different ways. And so they go hand in hand. It's the way that I get to live my purpose is being in partnership. And for
mm.
my clients, being in partnership supports their purpose coming into the world.
Absolutely. I mean, someone just said together, the power of partnership and purpose actually goes hand in hand, and also it's a great synergy as well, and is actually an opportunity to actually motivate somebody and also create a collaboration and make an impact, which eventually creates a legacy, which is definitely important. Thank you so much for that. And I really want to know about your documentary. I am so eager. Please share, let us know how we can actually support you, Kia.
Oh, hi. So,
Mm,
well, thank you both, truly, for speaking on my documentary. The documentary airs, it'll actually be in Wisconsin. It'll be a live preview, but
mhm,
what I will be doing, at a closer date, is doing a little online streaming of it so that my viewers, obviously outwears, can also stream the movie. It is called 24 Hours. And it basically just tells the story of what happened to me, within a 24 hours, to how
mm,
I changed and how I brought that 24 hours to where I am right now. And that is my struggles. That is the tears. That is the raw out, just everything that everybody has been asking. How did the doctors, diagnose me?
mhm,
What led up to the sepsis and so forth. So, that is also another another thing that I quickly birthed, and it was just something that I was sitting on. So I have a whole lot of things just afloat right now, but the documentary is very special, and it will be definitely one to see. As I've said and watched it now, and I would like to thank Miller Highlights so much for the production of the movie. But oh my gosh, I look at it and I'm like, this is about me, but I kind of lose my thought because I'm like,
Mm,
who could go through something like this?
like that.
Like,
Yeah.
this is amazing. Like, and
Mm,
I just, when I did see it, I cried because I'm like, I can't believe this is me. Like, I can't believe somebody could go through all of this and like, whew, like it was just, it's an amazing story. So I highly encourage to follow up. You can follow up from my Facebook page, and that is just Kia Marie Brazil on Facebook. I believe all updates and tickets are available here for Wisconsin at Eventbrite. So the links are and everything are posted on my Facebook page.
fantastic. That sounds awesome. I am eager to actually, be able to see the documentary, which is amazing. And so, Kayla, I wanted to know what kind of input or maybe some kind of encouragement you had in the process of the documentary being made to support Kia.
Well, I came in right as it was being ready to go. So I got the really sweet deal of just getting to celebrate the heck out of it being done. Like Kia said, Kia and Taylor Miller of Miller Highlights
Mm,
really were the key partners on this. And just as we started our partnership, the documentary is ready to be released. And so now Lisa and I are going and we're inviting all of our clients to join us in Wisconsin if they can to celebrate and to be impacted by Kia. And then, of
mm,
course, following her on social media so that you can see the social or the virtual preview once she's able to bring that. And it just, this is the best. I love celebration, and so the fact that that is my role in this is so incredible.
that is absolutely awesome. I mean, I just love this. And, partnership and just collaboration is definitely important. It carries a lot of weight, which is important as well. And I wanted to kind of ask you both about sort of balancing, because as women, we have so many things that we do. We wear so many hats. We're running after the children if we are mothers. We're helping out a family member. We're trying to juggle our marketing, our branding. We're trying to stand out, be on social media. We're trying to run our business as best as possible as we can. So, how do you balance your personal and professional life, especially if you are a mom or if you are an entrepreneur? So, that I'll ask you first, Keela.
So for me personally, I don't try to create any kind of balance. What I am looking for between my personal life and the two businesses that I run is much more of a braid. And so I like to think of it like harmony. Like there's these different strands of my life. There's the personal, one of my business, the other business, and I'm just consistently weaving and braiding them together. And there's
Mm,
focus one strand at a time that sometimes I'm just in a personal conversation or focusing on something personal. And then
yeah.
I get to layer that with a business piece and layer it with another business piece.
Mm.
And that's really what I've tried to do. And it's worked really well for me. Instead of trying to seek balance, to know that I'm actually braiding my life together strand by strand. And together it creates this really beautiful unity that is my amazing life.
Fantastic. I love that. That's the first, that you don't try to create the balance. Many of us are just trying to create balance. And to be quite honest, it's very difficult sometimes to balance out. It can't be balanced sometimes. And if you are balancing, well done. Give us some tips and let us know how you're doing it. So thank you so much for that, Kayla. Over to you, Kia.
Thank you for that.
Mm,
Well, I'm with Kayla on that one.
mm,
I have always been one to not believe in balance, simply because I prefer things just kind of intertwining. I don't want to have to go through the you get more time or this. I like to include in all. So with me being an author, a model, and a disability advocate,
mm,
in the mix of a whole lot of things, but with the things that I am involved in, it's easy for my children to be involved in. I have my children being able to see their mom making history and being along with
yeah.
making the world more accessible so they can grow to vouch for certain things as well as individuals that can relate
Mm,
to someone living with the disabled individual. You know what I mean? So a lot of
mm,
things that I do,
yeah.
I can pretty much put it in a mix. I wrote a book. So my son, he comes home with a million one pieces of paper and he's like, Mom, let's make this book. So in the backgrounds actually making a children's book with him in regards to a child having a disabled mom. So, it's like they all go in the flow. I say the
Yeah.
easiest way is to just try to make sure everything kind of maneuvers with each other instead of trying to see which gets the most time. Because as you know,
Mm.
time eventually runs out. So
Yeah. So
instead
true.
of, it makes things so much more hectic trying to balance time instead of just, weaving through.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And, talking about books and, helping your son with his, creative writing, you're an author, which is incredible. That's one of the hats that you also wear as well. So as an author, you have shared your story, your experience with us today, and you've actually shared it with the world. And, this documentary that's coming out is also an opportunity for you to be, on that spotlight as well. So can you tell us about, your books, the ones that you've written or the ones that's actually coming up, and what message you hope the readers will take away from them, Kia?
Sure. So
Mm.
right now I have one book that is published, and it is called Surviving Sepsis.
Okay.
That book
Good.
is pretty much surrounded around some events that took place when I did get sick. I usually refer to that book as like a journal time for me
Yeah.
because I
Mm.
was really writing out raw thoughts and I wanted it published. So reading that book, it kind of gives you the, I don't know. I can say it gives you more, gets you more anxious to know me and gets you more anxious to
Mm.
know more about the story. So
Right.
the book is kind of like a teaser to the actual documentary. So reading the book, you're going to be like, I need to see the documentary or I need to hear more of her story. So that's pretty much it. I am working on my own personal book as well. And it is just like a catch up type of thing. Like I
Mm.
haven't labeled it, I haven't did it. It's literally just notes right now. But
Mm.
it speaks on my journey through modeling as a disabled model, being a mother as a disabled
Mhm.
individual, and just casually getting through life as a human, as a disabled individual. It'll be a powerful read for sure, because
Mhm.
I speak on many of situations that I actually endured, whether that be a great experience or a terrible experience.
Mm.
And it's, it'll be a great read. That's all I can say.
That's
But
it.
I'm pretty much just, like I said, weaving through things. So I tackle it as I get to it. It's not too much of a rush for me right now.
I love that. So, for the listeners who are listening, thinking, "Oh, what is sepsis?" Can you just tell us what it is briefly? What is this?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So sepsis is something that is caused when your body is pretty much trying to fight off an infection that is brought on in your
Mm.
body. You have white blood cells and red blood cells, and usually they fight germs off that enter your body, that the harmful germs, should I say.
Mm.
However, there could be a point in time where you go through sepsis, and sepsis is where they start fighting against all of your main organs. So
Yes.
your body goes completely under attack. And I'm explaining this in lamest terms, not
Mm-hmm.
doctor terms, but your body pretty much just gets to fighting against each other, and it causes your organs to shut down, like literally in seconds, which is
Mm.
actually what happened to me.
Mm. Wow, wow, wow. Incredible. Wow. Thank you so much for explaining that to us. For some of us who don't really know what that is. And we just want to commend you and just celebrate you, Kia, because your story is definitely powerful. And a lot of people are probably just watching and thinking, wow, she's a mom, she's a model, she's a disability advocate, she's written a book, she's got a documentary coming out. You're an inspiration to many people that you can do it, right? Despite the challenges and the odds that is all stacked against you, the way you look at life is so unique and it's so different. You're like, is either I swim or I drown. So I'm going to swim and do what I need to do. And you are a prime example. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I am truly inspired today. And so over to you, Kayla. I just wanted to know, can you share a moment of pride or even an accomplishment in your business that stands out for you?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be able to do with Kia as well.
There
Yeah.
truly there are so many. The
Mm.
first one, just the first one that comes to my mind, and that's what I'm going to pick and follow that thread. Early in our business, we were only 4 months into our business, Lisa and
Yeah.
I. We decided that we were going to host our first ever retreat in Savannah, Georgia. And we live in the Midwest of the United States. So this is across the country. And so we started this process. We're selling tickets. Things are moving along. And then we are just a few weeks out. And we realized that, number one, the cost of the retreat, there was a lot of pop-up expenses we didn't know to plan for.
Yeah.
And so the cost was getting much higher than we were prepared for. And two, we hadn't sold all of the spots that we were committed to yet. We said, we're going to have 50. And I think we had like 38 or something sold. And so this was a multi-day retreat. And we felt at this moment of either, okay, we're 4 months into our business, either already we're like, the expenses are too high, we couldn't hack it, we're going to have to refund everyone and apologize, or we're really going to get to rise to the occasion and shine. And that's exactly what we did. And we ended up being able to generate the income that paid for the expenses and beyond, and filled the retreat with 50 people, and go on to really build an incredibly successful, profitable, robust business following that. And so the moment of pride and accomplishment was that we didn't give up, that we continued to believe in ourselves and trust ourselves and follow the path, because it would have been easy to say, oh, we're 4 months in, we had it wrong, let's go back and reconvene. And we just really didn't give up. And now we get to hold that for all of our clients when they're at a moment of, this is getting hard, or it's not working, or what's happening. We get to hold that energy of what happens if we stay committed to ourselves and keep showing up for our dreams.
I love that. Just show up and just keep going. Believe in yourself, believe in what it is that you're doing, and doors will be open eventually, but you mustn't give up. I think few people give up before they even get to the right place, to the destination, and they never get to experience what it will be like if they didn't give up. So not giving up allows you to get to where you need to get to, and allow you to see all the opportunities that could, come your way. And if you don't really give yourself opportunity or the grace to really hold on and be patient to get to the next level or to the next stage, you will never get to see what it's like. So thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. And I wanted to talk about the benefits of partnership, and I wanted to know about, what is it when we talk about partnership and purpose? What are the benefits of both, really? I'll start with you, Kaela.
I think it was exactly what we were just talking about, that sometimes we just feel like, I want to throw the towel in, or it would be easier if I just, delayed or did less, or just renegotiated on ourselves, our dreams. And so the benefit of being in a partnership is that there's someone else that can say, I'm going to hold this vision. I'm going to keep believing in you. If you need a minute to catch your breath, I will pick up and I will hold this belief in you until you're ready to step into it again for yourself, because that is ultimately what it's going to take, is that self-belief. And sometimes we just need someone who can be next to us to hold that space so we can keep believing in ourselves.
Absolutely. And what about you as well, Kia?
I agree. I'm very big on accountability. This is my season of accountability, not for myself, but for individuals around me as well. Because I simply believe if you have someone that can hold you accountable, it's much easier. It is so much. Well, I'll say it's easier. We'll just leave it at that. I'll say it's more difficult to sit back and wonder about the what ifs and the what could have happened if you had to just have someone near you to hold you accountable, and often that's what we do. If we don't have anybody to hold us accountable or have that partnership, that person that we can lean on in our times of doubt or just not feeling up to it at that moment, procrastination or whatever you want to call it, we can often just sit and we'll self-sabotage ourselves, sitting there saying, well, what if I did this, or should I do this? No, I'm not going to do it. Well, maybe I'll do it later. Whereas that person next to you will cancel that moment out completely,
Thank you so much for that. And yes, as advocates for empowering others, how do you use your platform to make a positive impact in your community and in your industry? Kaela, you have a massive circle of fantastic women in leadership. Tell us how you actually support them and guide them through.
Well, the podcast Pitch Palooza is a great example that we've already referenced, but really in a general statement, it is creating the community and the space and
Mm.
encouraging people to shine, to take up
Yes.
space, to be yourself, to speak your truth, to know that the whole of you is welcome here, that we can be with your bright light, with the moments of doubt. And that's what Lisa and I are really committed to with our Business Rise Leadership Circle, our podcast, and our Facebook group with the same name, Live Your Yes Life. Of this is a space where you can share who you are, be who you are, and know that that is completely enough. It's so much more than enough to bring the things you want to bring into the world. And so we're just honored to really be space holders for that.
Fantastic. So looking ahead, and what are your goals and aspirations for the future in terms of your business and also your foundation? I'll come over to you, Kaela.
Well, I feel like my goals for right now would be just to be able to service more. Right now, I'm local, and I just plan for my foundation to be worldwide. I want to be. I'm going to be worldwide, if I can say that
Yeah.
humbly. I want to be able to help as many as I can, whether that is just being around me for just hearing my story, or whether you just need to see someone that is being real, that is living a actual day to day and not trying to cover it up, not pretending to be someone they're not on the internet. One thing you're going to get from Kia is Kia every time. So with feeding back on what Kaela said, I have that space with her, so I have that space within our circle, within our family. So I'm okay with that. It makes it so much easier to go forward, so say being real.
Absolutely. You've got to be real and be you. And that's what makes you authentic. And we love it. And yes, the same question to you as well, Kaela.
Our goal is to help people like Kia have the things that we want. And we just want to keep helping more and more and more people that have big hearts and big missions see their dreams realized and fulfilled, and not be sitting on the bench wondering if or when or should they take action, but really to see their dream. So my goal is to have Kia's foundation and impact be worldwide, and all of my clients have their own version of that.
Excellent. That sounds amazing. And so for those of our listeners who are listening tonight, I want you to share an inspirational message with them of hope, and also to inspire them to really give birth to the vision that they've been holding inside of them for so long. This is 2024. We are just in April. There is still opportunity for you to give birth to the vision. And, you've both have been an example of that. You've shared your journey individually and also collectively. You've talked about the power of partnership and purpose and what it means and the benefits and, what you're doing within your leadership circle, and also the foundation and your wonderful documentary. And so just to butter up and to bring everything up to one, we just want to ask you about what is that inspirational message that you want to share with our listeners, those who are aspiring to start a business? I'll start with you, Kaela.
This is not my original words. I don't know who said this first, but I think the powerful quote of, if not now, when? And if not you, who? And we just have to decide that it's me right now who can bring my dream and vision to life. And I just have to start, like Kia had said.
I love that. I just have to start. It's me. The decision starts with me. If I don't make the decision, how will I be able to bring it to life? I love that. And what about you, Kia?
My message would be, and this is just off the dome, but it is something that I usually go by for myself. There will be 1,000,001 problems that occur in life. We can never predict the future, but if you're in a situation where you can do it, don't sink, keep swimming.
I love it. What a powerful way to really bring a wonderful, inspiring discussion to a close. It's been a pleasure having both of you here. And just before we go, I wanted to share your social media platforms with our audience so that they can connect with you.
Amazing. So you can find me in my Facebook group, which is Live Your Yes Life. And if you follow me there, you'll be able to find me everywhere else.
Fantastic. Awesome stuff. And what about you?
I can be easily located on Facebook under The Real Kia Marie. Actually, Kia Marie Brazil. Just type in Kia Marie Brazil. My Instagram handle is The Real Kia Marie Brazil. But if you find me on Facebook, you can find me everywhere else.
Absolutely. So, all our listeners, please tap into their details and information. They're able to support you and to help you. Please support the wonderful Kia with her lovely documentary coming up very soon, and also the foundation, the Metal Barbie, which is incredible support, and also get her book. So how do we get your book as well?
The book is available online. It is on Amazon. It is on Barnes and Nobles, my Kindle. It's pretty much on any platform you can think of.
Okay,
And
so as long as we follow you, we'll be able to get access to be able to get the book, yeah?
absolutely, I do have a link tree on my Instagram profile that will give you access to all of my links.
Excellent, awesome. And Kaela, is there any events coming up for you or anything that you want us to know that will be of interest to our listeners?
Ooh, you know what? We always have so many things. For anyone listening live or in the next few days, we do have a really powerful workshop coming on Tuesday, and we always share all the details for everything in our Facebook group. So that's the place where it's all happening.
Fantastic. It's happening there. So do go and follow this amazing, incredible, remarkable queens who are just excellent in what they do. I hope you've all had an amazing time today. How have you found the podcast, Kia?
Oh, absolutely beautiful. This was amazing. I thank you both, of course. This was amazing. The conversation, the energy, everything, simply beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you. You are, one of the kind of women that we want to have on the show because your story is very inspirational. And thank you so much for being on this platform. And over to you, Kaela. How have you found the whole process, being on the show, and also, working alongside your wonderful clients as well? It's just been an amazing opportunity to have you here. How has it been for you?
Oh, Hannah, such a dream. Thank you. I appreciate that we had the chance to connect and, hearing about your podcast, and thank you for inviting me on. And I said, I've got to bring someone with me. We have to tell her story to really model. Like it's one thing to talk about what I do and another to be able to showcase somebody who you can just see, like what I get to do is fan the flame of amazing people like Kia. And so thank you for being so willing to just share this message that is critical for the world to hear.
Absolutely. You've both been really fantastic. Thank you so much for coming onto the Birth Your Vision podcast. And you know what? Thank you so much to all our listeners. Thank you for being part of this wonderful show. And tonight we're bringing everything to a close. I just want you to be able to keep in touch with us. Do leave a review and also follow and subscribe to our podcast. And also stay tuned for more episodes coming up very soon. So ladies, thank you so much for being on this platform. I just want to wish you the very best, and we will connect over on your social media platforms as well. Thank you all very much, and see you on the next episode. Bye for now. Welcome to Birth Your Vision podcast, where aspiring entrepreneurs are invited to join us on a journey of inspiration. I'm your host,